third game on a Sunday. It's kicking off just after 6 p.m. here in Eastern Standard Time in Sydney. It's the Dragons. Take it away, Baxter.
Yeah, we've got Tyrone Sloan in the fullback role with Matthew Falagai in the wing position with Ravalawa in the wing position. I know your last name, I don't know your first name. We got Moses Sully and Zach Lomax in the centre roles with Jaden Sullivan and Ben Hunt in the halves. Francis Morlaw and Blake Laurie in the front row position with Moses Mbai in the hooker role. BMM and Jaden Sua in the second row position with Jack Bird to round out the lock. Jacob Little, Zane Musgrove, Toby Couchman, Josh Kerr, Michael Molo to round out the interchange bench. It is a derby. The St. George Illawarra Dragons versus the Sutherland Cronulla Sutherland Shire Sharks. But you lead last week halftime, you go into the break, and then you come out of it, and you just, whether you played poorly or the other team turned up and wanted to win the extra 2 points more than you guys did, but they need to find a defense. They need to find it fast, because if that happens again this week, I think it's just not as bad as 40 to 18, but the scoreline's just going to get bent out of shape against them. So if they want to get these 2 points right, 2 points, so they're going to have to get their defense and keep it to a high standard for 80 minutes.
Yeah, 100%. Now, whenever I think of that result from last week, I think of that Fast and the Furious scene where he's like, I almost had you, man. I almost had me. And he just turns and goes, you never had me. Whether it's an inch or a mile, you never had me. And that's kind of how I saw that game. I think the Dragons were in it. They were close, but I think majority of people always thought that once Adam Reynolds put that field goal in at halftime, the whole momentum shifted, and we just thought that the Broncos were going to come back. Not in that fashion, but when you give a team with those superstars that much freedom, they're going to put points on the board. So like you said, the Dragons will be wanting to wrap up their defense this week. But let's move on to the Sharks. He's back. He's in the number 7. But let's talk about the rest of the team. It's William Kennedy, Sione Katoa, Jesse Ramian, Talakai, Ronaldo Militalo, Matt Moylan, the return of Nicholas Hines. Just sounds weird calling him Nicholas. I know that's what his name is, but it just sounds weird. So back to Nicho Hynes, Toby Rudolph, Blake Brayley, Braden Hamlin Ueli, Britton Nakora, Teague Wilton, Dale Finucane, Cameron McInnes, Royce Hunt, Oregon Kafusi, Braden Trindle, and obviously Jack Williams in the 18th man. There's no bigger comeback this week than obviously Nicho Hynes being named recovering from his calf injury. Braden Trindle has been named on the interchange bench despite some ankle complaints, but it just looks like an all-round solid squad. They've looked good in the first couple of weeks, and like I said, if you told me they were coming into this game with a winning record on the season, I'd tell you you're absolute crazy, but that's where they are, and now they welcome back Nicho Hynes. So they're going to score points. I don't think that's an issue. It's going to be an absolute blockbuster. Let's chuck in another stat before I throw it to you. The Sharks have won 6 straight versus the Dragons. So could this be lucky 7 heaven for the Sharks? I think it will be. I'm going to go 1-12 Cronulla, but what are your thoughts on this game and the result?
Funny that you bring up 6-0 on the trot between these two teams. It's quite interesting. I think St. George need to change their club and just be called the Wollongong Dragons and move out of the area, because that's all Shark territory now. And I am going to go in a comfortable Cronulla win, 13+ to get it done for Sunday evening.
Well, I'll tell you what will like a Cronulla 13+. It'll be my super coach team with Nicho Hynes obviously sitting there kicking goals. So let's see how his calf does hold up. Let's see if he does take full-on kicking duty with that calf issue. But he is named. He is in the lineup. They do look good. We both think Cronulla get the result. But Baxter, we're at the end of the episode, and I'm going to chuck you on the spot here. And if you don't, I'll chuck you a random question. But did you have any random fact or random question that you wanted to ask today?
I was thinking about one today, but it's not for on air, so I won't say that one.
Well, for
Not
everyone listening, you now have the level of conversations that we do have off air, which can get a bit concerning and can get quite funny. But go for it, mate. If you haven't got one, I will chuck in a quick and random one.
first, and I think I've got one to follow up. But if not, we'll just end it there. So you go first, and we'll go from there.
All right, let's go. Actually, I just changed it in my head. I was going to ask what your favorite number is and why, but let's chuck it to North Queensland Cowboys are the team you support. You can pick one player from any other team that will not be included in your salary cap. Who are you bringing in and why?
Oh. See, I think we're aging. We're a little bit of an age in the forward pack role. So I'd like to bring in this player. One, he's a New South Welshman. It's not the reason why, but he just has this. He has this winning, like, never say die attitude. Whether his team's winning by 50 or his team's winning by 5, he just wants to see out this game with a win with his team. Whether he's
before you say the name, you don't have to say this on air, but can you just check the private chat and think if we're talking about the same player?
Nope.
Okay.
No. I'm not talking about Payne Haas, the wannabe $1 million player. I'm talking about Jake Tavorovich. I think he has this motor, he has this drive, he has this ability that he just wants to win, and he wants to play. He wants to go from 0 to 100 from the moment the referee blows his whistle to game on to the moment he blows it for game off. And if it's me, like we've got Jordan McLean, who's going to retire maybe this year or at the end of next year. We also got Jason Talmo as well. So there's 2 big forward players that we're going to get rid of. And if I needed just someone to replace a starting forward role, I wouldn't be over the moon. Sorry, to have Jake Tavorovich to be my number 8 position.
Well, like I said in the private, you gave it away, but I would go Payne Haas. I think we're quite low in the forward pack at the moment as well. Like you said, in those second row, in those middles, we're quite low. So to bring in a number 10 that can kind of put in that effort, whether it's off the bench, whether it's a start over Lindsay and Lindsay comes off and explodes, I think that's the step that's missing in the Roosters. And we saw that with obviously Jared coming off the bench and dominating the game obviously last week. So I would take him, but Baxter, we'll wrap it up there. We've just clicked over an hour as a total recording. You obviously will see these episodes in little glimpses, but I'm sure you'll send me a screenshot so I know what we all picked, because I have no idea what I even picked. So send me that across. But Baxter, thank you for joining me. Roosters, enjoy that week off. Get that rest in your legs. And obviously we'll be back next week to review round 4.
Yeah, peace.